Welcome to Travel and Trivia number 1, Southeast Asia. I'm Mike the Canadian. This is my first show. So, yeah, thanks for coming out. Nopal, John, Jessica, Rick, Icy, Denjoga, all making the leap. Wonton, if you're on Reddit, you have to go. Sorry. Oh, I could post it over here. Just a sec. I can. Here we go. Here's the link. There. Ask and you shall receive. There's the link if you want to jump over. You need to subscribe, and we're going to give away points, lots of them. Canadian. All right. So here we go. This is excited. This is a dream that I've had since probably 2019, more seriously. And already we're starting with lag. That's not a good start. All righty. So, okay, here we go. So how this is going to work, this is going to be the format. Depending on the subject, tonight it's my Southeast Asia trip. So I went to 6 countries. So before each country, lag. You know what, Reddit, I want this first video to be good quality. So I'm going to have to end the Reddit session right now. It just, broadcasting over 2 different is too difficult. So if you want to go, follow that link, Wonton, The Patient, Magnus, and join us there. That way we'll get good quality for my first stream on YouTube. Generous Travelers. You've got the link there. So follow me over there. That would be awesome. You have to subscribe to enter any of the chat, just so you know. All righty. We'll see you, Reddit. Okay. Hopefully that's better. So tell me it's better. Or don't tell me it's better. Don't tell me it's worse, though. All right. Here we go. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Are we good? Good so far. Y Team Stream is better. Okay. All righty. Just do that. And then, thanks. It's worse? It's okay. All righty. Well, I'm just going to hope for Daniel. Nice to see you. Oh. Is that some Daniel that I know there or what? Anyways, here we go. All right. So how it's going to work is we got 6 countries in Southeast Asia that we're going to explore today. And as a result, each country, I'm going to have some questions, a couple of questions, each one, and every question and the generous stream will have. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's him, but I don't know for a fact. Anyways, each stream, each question, each country, 2 questions, and everyone is going to get a generous point. John's already got 2 tonight, and then we're just going to add to it. All right. So we're going to Southeast Asia. This trip was from 2019, basically the summer before COVID hit. It's fairly recent. Obviously, travel has been quite restricted the last 2 years. So we went to, there we go. So we went to 6 countries, 7 locations, in about, I think it was 17 days, including 2 trips to Hong Kong. Okay. So I'm just going to go through each of the countries. We're going to do a couple of questions, and I'm going to talk about the country. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That's what this is kind of all about. And then, at the end, I'm going to remind me at the end to talk about this, okay? Because this is for generous as well. Don't say anything about that if you know what it is, but we're going to talk about that at the very end. All righty. No Laos. No Laos, unfortunately. Food questions? Yeah, we can ask about food. All right, here we go. So let me look up the questions, and then we should be good. Here we go. Oh. All righty. Okay. So we're going to start with, I've looked up some questions here so that we'll have some appropriate questions. All righty. What was the first one? I'm going to start with a really simple question. Okay, protest this is the category. Beyond the barricades in 2019, the year I visited, Hong Kongers sang, "Do you hear the people sing from this musical?" So this is Jeopardy style answers still. This is Jeopardy. Yeah, this is Jeopardy questions. So protest this. Beyond the barricades in 2019, Hong Kongers sang, "Do you hear the people sing from this musical?" Who is it? Yes, Daniel, even with the correction. Yes. What is Les Mis? Les Miserables. Yes, good, Daniel. So just so you know, Daniel, generous points, you collect them over the month. Then on March 1st, we have a draw, and it's $1 for every subscriber, both to Generous Trivia and Generous Travelers. I'm going to do that. Minimum $25 right now. I'm not sure if we're going to hit the minimum, but who knows? If a bunch of people join, up to $500. So if 500 people join Generous Travelers this month, I'm going to give that away. All right. Oh, there we go, Daniel. Interesting. All righty. So here we go. So Hong Kong. So the beginning of July, we flew to Hong Kong directly from Toronto. It's a long flight. But once we got there, once we got settled into our hotel, I forget what it was called. I'll mention a few others that were a bit more memorable. We headed downtown. So it's a very nice city. It's obviously on a harbor. It's kind of split on both sides of the harbor. So we went walking along one side. So there's a big famous city clock there and such. Then we crossed over, and we got to the other side. And over there's some big buildings, and we wanted to go up it, but unfortunately, you needed your passport, and only I was carrying it. My wife's and son's was at the hotel, so we couldn't go up the building. But instead, we walked around, and we actually ate in a Michelin-rated restaurant. You guys familiar with Michelin-rated restaurants? These are the top-end restaurants around the world. There's not many of them. I think there's less than 1,000. I think Canada only has like a handful. Even the States does have, but there are a lot in Europe and such. So this was our first Michelin restaurant that we'd ever been to, that we knew of, and it was okay. It was not a dream, but it wasn't bad either. It was a nice restaurant. I remember it was quite packed, and I think this is common in this culture, that we sat at a table kind of that was shared. Like we weren't the only ones at our own table. So we didn't talk much with the other people, but anyways, that was kind of interesting. So yeah, it was, I don't know if Jessica, I can't, yeah, it wasn't Tim Hortons. I can't remember exactly what I ate, unfortunately. I just remember all three of us enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it, but we weren't like totally like amazed, like this was the best meal we had ever had. Oh, there's more like 3,000. Oh, okay. 3,000 restaurants. Oh, I didn't realize there was that many. Okay. So yeah, Michelin is actually the car company, and they developed this list because they wanted people to travel more using their tires, and therefore go to restaurants driving there and need more tires and find out about food. So anyways, so that was our Michelin experience. We went to the first day while we were quite tired. Most fast food is overrated. Probably is the case. When we went to that first day, well, we were quite tired because we just flown overseas and jet lag and everything. We went to the Hong Kong Space Museum, which actually it's quite small. It was a couple of rooms that weren't very big, but then it had a big theater, the type, where you lie back and you see a show, which unfortunately we didn't get an English show. We got a Japanese shows that was translated in our earpieces. Well, what happened was both me, there we go. Both me and my son fell asleep that first day, and by the time I woke up, somehow the English was no longer in my headset, so it was now in Chinese or probably Cantonese, right, in Hong Kong. Or is it? No, it was probably, I'm not sure actually which of the two, Mandarin or Cantonese. Anyways, so yeah, I didn't. My wife managed to stay up. It was okay, but I was a little tired. So that was the Hong Kong Space Museum. Again, quite small, so it didn't come highly recommended. We did though on the next day. We went to it's called Mammo Temple. There's lots of temples there. That was the particular one we went to. So I'm seeing Cantonese. Yes, was what is spoken in Hong Kong. So we went to the Mammo Temple, a Buddhist temple there. That was interesting, full of smoke. I'm now blanking on the type of smoke, incense, burnt incense smoke and such. Obviously not my religion, but it was interesting to see that culture there. And then from there, we went up to Victoria Peak. We took a taxi up. There is actually a tram that will take you up, but unfortunately the tram was not in service while we were there. It was so yeah, we took the tram up, and Victoria's Peak is very beautiful. The Mammo Temple, I don't know a lot about it. You can look it up. It's literally man and then Mo, M-O. So yeah, other than typical temple incense, lots of kind of goldish things and such to it. So I don't know if it was dedicated to something in particular. It had several entrances, which was a bit different. That gave you a bit different experience, which depending on which side you entered the temple there. Hello there, Brady. So Victoria's Peak, it's a high kind of mountain that oversees the city, so it's very beautiful. It's very famous to go to Hong Kong to the Victoria Peak. So we did do that. You walk along the ridge there, and you take tons of photos. You see both sides of the harbor. See a lot of the harbor. So we went to Victoria Peak, and we did enjoy it. I looked at it before. TripAdvisor, high rating. It's just a cool thing to do. If you're going to go to Hong Kong, you're going to go to Victoria Peak. Because it's just a beautiful look at. That night, after eating a restaurant, I'm pretty sure we ate at like a McDonald's because we couldn't find anything that was fast and local. There we go. Thank you. I see. We couldn't find anything fast and local, so we ended up, I believe it was McDonald's, only to find out after we finished that meal, literally behind the McDonald's was the what do you call it? Was a local Chinese restaurant that we could have gone that was fast, so kind of what we were looking for, and we just didn't find. Anyway, so yes, our true confessions, we do eat at McDonald's when we can't find what we're looking for. And at night, on one side, you can watch a really beautiful laser light show. On the other side of the harbor, so we did that. Of course, my wife loves any light fireworks and stuff, so we definitely did that. Jessica, right now for my first show, I don't have it. Eventually I'm going to get on YouTube Studio and be able to show pictures, but right now, unfortunately, maybe redo the show even with pictures, but unfortunately I don't have any that I can show you. I did look through them. That's where I got the one. Anybody name, did anybody see the building on the front? This isn't for a generous point. I meant to do two questions. Maybe I'll do one at the end of does Eddie know, for a generous point, name the building that was on the thumbnail as you entered. I'll give you a generous point to whoever gets that. Does anybody know? Name the building and the city it's in. That's the question. Did anybody take note? Somebody, for a generous point, name the building that was the thumbnail Yeah, the thumbnail. It was, you'd have to open up another browser and probably go to Generous Trivia, and then you'd see it. I think is the only way. Rick, I see. Yeah, you'd have to open another browser. Yeah, Brady can see it. How do you see it? You probably have to open another browser. Go to, there we go.
Does it look like it?
I'm so tired of this.
Maybe it's mom.
But it's uploading. Yes.
I can check Steam.
Okay. So, yes, it's the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore is correct. Man, I don't know how to do this any differently. I'm gonna look this up before I can before next show. Okay, so IC gets the points for that. Anyways, that was Hong Kong. We did some shopping in the evening on a street market. That was kind of neat. Yeah, that was our time in Hong Kong. Well, me and my wife weren't as jazzed about it. My son did enjoy himself, so there was that. But yeah, that was Hong Kong. So next is Thailand. Let's ask. I meant to ask a couple of questions. Let's see if I can do that this time. Thailand. Yeah, Rick, it's only uploading that should be the issue. Downloading, we have tons of room, but uploading, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the weather's not the best here today, but it generally isn't an issue. Anyways, I'm going to look at see what the okay. So here's some Thailand questions. This is the category Thailand, so I'm going to ask two of them. All righty. Here we go. For 800, this is in Double Jeopardy. The bumblebee, the bumblebee is native to Thailand. One of the world's tiniest mammals, the bumblebee, this is native to Thailand. So world's tiniest mammals. Yeah, I'm not overloading the computer, so there we go. Daniel gets another one. Yes, what is that? Yes, it is the bumblebee bat. It's tiny. I was thinking hummingbird as well, Running Funk.
It's a mammal.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. My son just reminded me. I was thinking hummingbird, but it's a mammal, so it couldn't be. All right, let's see here. For 1200, Thailand's most popular sport is this martial art with a 2-word name. Is the video really bitmappy? There we go, Daniel. Getting another one. Yes. Where are you? There we go. Daniel, ×3. Knocking it out of the park today. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Okay. So Thailand, we went to 2 places in Thailand, Bangkok and Phuket. In Bangkok, we stayed at what's called the Centerpoint Siloam Hotel. It's right downtown. It was one of the biggest hotels we've ever stayed at in terms of the room. It was almost like a small apartment. I think they have longer stays there, so that's why. It had a kitchen. It had even a washer-dryer kind of combo unit. So yeah, it was really nice. My son had his own section, kind of own room. We had our own room. Huge bathroom. Yes, my son's reminding me. Had a bidet, had a very fancy Japanese type bidet with the all the controls and stuff like that. So we really liked our hotel. It was very central. So we took a free ferry. I remember the first night to some shopping and restaurants. So yeah, you can't pass up a free ferry. It was like a full kitchen, Jessica. It had everything. It wasn't even a kitchenette. It had full everything, full fridge, full. It was great. So yeah, we did some shopping. My favorite food there is what is it called? Mango and fried rice, like sweet fried rice. That was my favorite there, as well as pad thai. And with pad thai, I I tend to add sugar to an already sweet meal. I don't know. I'm pretty bad that way. So, okay. Somebody worked in the university in Bangkok, so you probably know some of these places. Sticky rice. There we go. Mango sticky rice. That is correct, Jessica. Not fried rice, sticky rice. My wife really liked that too. And pad thai are kind of my favorites there. No, actually, I see. That whole trip, we didn't have really much issue in that respect. A few meals that we weren't fond of, but nothing that really, including one in Cambodia I want to talk about that was really bad. So, not bad, very, very interesting. Not bad, potentially bad for intestinal distress, but it actually turned out really good.
Don't you remember the breakfast?
Anyways,
the breakfast we had before we left.
Yeah. In Thailand, we went to Wat Arun, which is a white temple. There's lots of temples there. So we went to Wat Arun and we went to Wat Pho. Those are the two kind of main ones in the downtown area. Wat Pho has a big, huge, like massive reclining Buddha. I'm not sure the exact length of it, but it is massive. And we got to see that as well as the Wat Arun White Temple. So that was very beautiful. Then after that, have you had masala curry? No, I haven't had that. Here we go. Next question, or next the next thing that we did, I forget, I think previous to this, before we actually we went in shorts because it was hot. It was July, it was the summer. We actually had to buy kind of colorful pants because you needed to cover up and be respectful in these temples. We should have probably known that beforehand. So we bought these cheap, like $5 baggy pants, and all three of us, and we went to these temples, as well as the Grand Palace. So before we went to the Grand Palace, which was closed until a little bit later, we actually, somebody told us about a rickshaw driver and told us for like $10, they'll drive you around for a couple hours. And I didn't believe it till we found, I said, can you find us one? Sure enough, he talked to him, got us hooked up. And this rickshaw driver used to, for like 2 hours, drove us to about 4 or 5 different locations and charged us $10. It was crazy. I ended up giving him another $10 tip. Anyways, he drove crazy. He drove against traffic. It was raining. We were laughing, having a hilarious time. There's 3 of us squished back there. So rickshaw driving is crazy. It's fun and it's super cheap. 2 hours of this guy's time plus the rickshaw. He did take us to 3 different locations: a jewelry shop, a souvenir shop, and a place that makes clothing, custom clothing, as a requirement for giving us cheap rates, because anything we bought there, he probably got some sort of commission. So, but it was worth it. We had a lot of fun. We went to the Golden. What did I say? Rickshaw. Tuk-tuk. Yes. Sorry, rickshaw. I even wrote rickshaw. Tuk-tuk driver. Yes, Rick. Thank you. Tuk-tuk, not rickshaw. Tuk-tuk is motorized. Rickshaw is usually, they push you around. So, yes, a tuk-tuk driver. We went to see the Golden Sitting Buddha, as well as another temple that was high on a hill. We didn't get to climb it just because we didn't have the time. Anyways, by the time we got back, again, it cost me $10 plus a $10 tip. The Grand Royal Palace was open, and as we were in line, a local came up to us and said, I forget how much, maybe $20. He would take us on a personalized tour of the Grand Palace, and also got us to the front of the line. The locals know how to do that. Basically, they butt in, and they're getting paid. So we got a private tour of the Grand Palace, which was awesome. Lots to see there. Inside there's another temple which has the Emerald Buddha. So it's a fairly big size Buddha made of emeralds. And yeah, we had a great time that day. At night, me and my wife went and got a typical Thai massage, which again was super cheap. I think it was less than $20 for the both of us. And yeah, we enjoyed it. Do they have fried bread and coconut? Yeah, I'm not sure if they do. I didn't see it. I see others. Rick might have an idea. So that was Thailand. From there, my son did remind us we had a bit of a weird breakfast where it was like meatballs and soup for breakfast, and yeah, it was not my typical breakfast meal. From there, we went to Phuket, Thailand by plane. It's like 8 to 10 hours driving, or like less than an hour flight. We stayed in a fairly rustic hotel that had concrete ceilings that were like as rustic as the day they were formed. There was still like pieces of wood stuck in it and such. So that was a bit of an interesting hotel. We were in Kamala, which is part of Phuket, and it was actually near a 2004 memorial to the tsunami victims. And almost everybody I talked to in Phuket knew somebody who passed away as a result of the tsunami. So while we were there, I decided to look up one of the best beaches in the world, so a top 150 beach. It's called Catenoid Beach. So we went there, and it was really wavy. So my son enjoyed the waves. But what was unfortunate was even as we walked up to it, it was quite junky. And there was just lots of like bottles, water bottles, kind of piled up. But as we actually got onto the sand, there was some of this junk was into the sand. And what was worse was it was in the water. And as waves came, wave after wave, there we go, north means north, there was more and more garbage that was washing up. And when you went swimming in it, even though my son enjoyed the waves and surfing and such, I was there picking up uh, junk out of the water. It was kind of sad. And all the tourists were doing it. None of the locals were. I guess they're just used to it. But as tourists, we were just trying to do our part to clean up. So that was kind of unfortunate. It's the first time I've ever been in ocean water where I've noticed that much um, garbage in the water. Yeah. Anyways, it's really unfortunate that so much of it. The only thing I ever saw a Thai person pick up was actually a gas cylinder that was worth money, so they picked that up. But the rest was just garbage. I saw like medical gloves, um, big crate where they would have fish and stuff like that, like for fishermen, lots of fishing tackle and such. Anyways, it was quite unfortunate. It really soured kind of my experience of Phuket because there was so much junk and so much of our time was spent picking it up. Other thing we did in Phuket, we did as a family, all three of us got a massage. Again, super cheap, $20 for all three of us, I'm sure, including a tip. So yeah, so that was Thailand. Any questions before we go on to Cambodia? Yeah, it's a bit overcrowded. Yeah, I agree. It was a little crowded, but I was glad I checked it out. I know it gets a lot of mentions, so yeah. On to Cambodia. Let's see here. Just as I hit Cambodia. I don't know. Oh shoot. All right. Still we're back. Okay. There we go. Okay. First question. Again for a generous point. So far, John's got 2, Daniel's got 3, and IC has got 1. In 1860, many years after the Cambodian jungle had reclaimed it, a French naturalist came upon this lost city's ruins. Anybody know? Yes, Rick. What is Angkor Wat? Yes. So yes, let's do one more question. So Angkor Wat is where we spent most of our time there in Cambodia. Alrighty. Cambodia, it's the world economy. Sorry, should have told you the last. It's the world economy. Yes. Cambodia has one of the world's lowest rates of this, around 0.2%, but many workers struggle to make ends meet. This was from 2020, I believe. Yeah, 2020. Cambodia has one of the world's lowest rate of this, around 0.2%, but many workers struggle to make ends meet. Yes, Daniel, with another one. Yes, what is unemployment? I was surprised. I was thinking inflation as well, but what is unemployment? No, you got it right with what is unemployment. So yeah, so Cambodia. Really struck me as I went to Cambodia was they're very hospitable there. They are in most of Southeast Asia, but it's to the extreme in Cambodia. We went to Siem Reap, which is where Angkor Wat is. So our hotel picked us up from the airport, provided drinks. I forget the selection, but they had a few drinks in the vehicle for us, as well as a warm face cloth to put on our face. I kind of laughed when we got it because we were in a hot environment. But anyways, it was very nice, complimentary. Obviously, the hotel was called the Khmer Mansion Residence and comes highly recommended. They were awesome staff, very hospitable. A lot of this goes on. A lot of this is how they greet you and how they say thank you and such. So we really enjoyed our stay there. So the tuk-tuk drivers in Cambodia did exist. That's how their main sort of transportation. None of them tried to sell me drugs, Daniel. So thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that. It's called why. Yes. So anyway, so yeah, no, I didn't experience any of that. Actually, anywhere in Southeast Asia. Maybe I'm just oblivious, Daniel, but no. Is it really bitmappy? Anyways, I'm gonna have to watch this back and see what I can do. So what do we do there? It was a nice hotel, nice pool and such, but we took a guided tour, a private guided tour of Angkor Wat and the surrounding temples. So these are close to 1,000-year-old, initially Hindu temples that were converted to Buddhist temples when the Buddhists came into the area. So there's a bit of a mix there of both Hindu and Buddhist iconography and such, because the Buddhists tried to kind of rid it of the Hindu feel and flair and make it more Buddhist. And this is where, like Lara Croft and such, Tomb Raider, these are the temples that were actually used, some of them, in the filming of that movie. And we got to hang out one of them, I think in Lara Croft, where the tree is kind of built right into and grows right into the temple. We got to see that. So yeah, it's very interesting. Lots to see, lots to experience. And so after a full day of that, we went to a restaurant in town. And this was a very interesting restaurant. It served over 20 types of meat. 20 types of, or it served us 20 types of meat over the course of the night. And they had a little grill there where they grilled it up. And I thought that was going to be our job. There was actually a staff member there that actually grilled the meat for us while we ate the entire, I don't know, couple of hours that we sat there and ate. And it was chicken involved in that. And so I was a little worried that some of this raw cooked with other meat might give us stomach issues, and thankfully none of it did. So So yeah, that was an interesting restaurant, one I won't forget on our travels. So that's Cambodia. Anybody have any questions about that? I'd love to go to the capital one day, but we didn't have time for that. We just had time for a couple of days in Angkor Wat region. All right, next one is Malaysia. Here we go. I just have to type. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Daniel. That's definitely where. That's what I mean in the capital. Stuff like that. There wasn't a ton where we were, but yes, in the capital, the War Museum, the Killing Fields, all that went on there. Definitely want to go back for that. All right, let me find some questions here. All right, here we go. Well, oh, I missed that, Daniel. Yeah, I didn't. Plus, we had a limited time. We enjoyed a little bit of the facilities at the hotels. So, yeah, when you're going country after country, you can't maximize every single day, every hour, or you'll just wipe yourself out. So, all right, here we go. Royal title of it's 21st century monarchies is the category. Royal title of the rulers of Malaysian states and of Oman. We get that? Royal title of the rulers of Malaysia states and of Oman. Daniel, you want to fix your answer there? There you go. Yes. What's a sultan? Daniel, 5 points. Killing it tonight. John's got 2, Daniel 5, IC and Rick. IC and Rick have 1. John has 2. All righty. There we go. All right. So Malaysia, we were there less than 24 hours. It was basically a stopover that I extended one day because I was like, if we're going to stop over on our way to Bali, I might as well enjoy our time. So, yeah, so we spent one day. We were surprised how many English speakers there were in Malaysia. Made getting around and asking questions so much easier. You didn't have to rely kind of on hotel staff, restaurants, just places, knickknack sellers, whatever. There was a lot of English spoken in Malaysia, so that was nice. So we went to downtown, which has the famous Petronas Towers. They're kind of like twin similar towers with a connecting walkway between them. Well, it's kind of the main feature. It's kind of like Toronto CN Tower. It's the main thing. There are other big towers there. I think my son was saying the second or third biggest building in the world now was just built in Miller. Yeah, so we spent a lot of time downtown hanging out and then of course I gotta figure this out. I can't run these with. All righty, are we back? Is the lag over? Oh, interesting. We actually, in the evening, we sat there. It's wonderful lights. There's a bit of a light show, waterfall light show. But we also lost our son there. So that was a little scary. Wasn't for long, but yeah, big foreign city and lost our son. So yeah, that was 24 hours. So that we would have loved to have done more. There's a ton more to see in Kuala Lumpur, not just the city, but the surrounding areas. We just unfortunately didn't have time for it. Okay. So we're getting to the two more, Bali and then Singapore, and then we're done. So let's look at a question for Bali here. And then a question or two for Bali, Singapore, and then we'll wrap it up. Then I got to watch it, but I don't know. I got to do something here. I can't run these streams with such poor... It is raining hard today, so I don't know if that's maybe impacting the connection to the satellite. All right, here we go. Oh, what am I waiting for? I'm not sure what... I'm not going to do questions about Bali. I'm going to do questions about Indonesia because I'm not sure if it's taking some sort of short form there and showing other stuff that's not... Shadow on the... No, shadow's not. It's raining hard today. Yeah, it suddenly got really warm. It's like 7 degrees Celsius today, which is melting all the snow. So, all righty. Okay, here we go. Almost. East, this is for another generous point. See if somebody can beat Daniel here. East, Central, and West. This island are 3 of some of 30 provinces of Indonesia. Why do we suddenly want some coffee? How provincial? East, Central, and West, this island are 3 of some of 30 provinces of Indonesia. Why do we suddenly want some coffee? There we go. Rick and Nopal. Rick gets the point. What is Java? I actually didn't look, but I'm pretty sure that's the answer. Yes, what is Java? So yeah, from Kuala Lumpur, flew to Bali, Indonesia. We stayed at the Conrad Bali. The Conrad is a fairly big chain. And one thing that, I don't think it's the most densely... Places like Monaco are more densely populated, Daniel, I believe. Oh, those are countries, though. Anyways, it's probably up there with Monaco and Hong Kong and such. So, but the Conrad Bali Hotel, Conrad is I'm not exactly sure, Jessica. The Conrad. I just know it's a chain of hotels. It's higher end. But when we were booking there, a third person, like our son, there was an additional charge. But for this one, there didn't seem to be an additional charge. And a few hotels I found where it actually said third person included with the fee. But this one didn't say it was additional. So my assumption was it was included. Much to my chagrin. And again, I had a good experience there, but just looked at 140. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, okay. You're not talking Bali. You're talking about Java. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Yes, most populous. Not sure about density. Yes, places like Monaco may be more densely populated. So Bali, so Conrad, hotel, actually did want to for a bed for my son. It was like $50-$60 a night, which I just wish I would have known that at the time. I might have chosen another hotel knowing it was going to be $60 more. And all they did is wheel in a simple bed for him, and they gave us one breakfast as a result of paying for it. So yeah, that's kind of an expensive breakfast and bed, but it is what it is. It's just, those are the type of things that kind of grate on me as I'm traveling. If you want to charge for my son, I have no problems paying for it. It was a roller coaster. That was it. Just let me know and let me know the price, especially when I'm booking on Expedia. And don't surprise me with a charge when I don't know. They could have said it's $200 a night, and we would have had, well, what's our recourse? I actually did call them, and they ended up, Expedia gave me, I don't know, maybe $50 gift certificate or something like that for my troubles. But anyways, so yeah, that's something to always be wary of, those kind of upcharges. Yeah. as much as I knew there might be one, I was hoping they would let me know. But yeah, honestly, I see there was on our patio, there was a really nice, almost like a bed-like sitting area on the outside, so you could kind of hang. And I thought, man, he could probably jump in there. But anyways, we didn't make him sleep outside. So anyways, that's the one thing I'm going to mention that was kind of a bit. No, there's other experiences in Bali. So what it's known for is super over tourism in Bali, and that simply is the case. There's just a lot of people there. This is in 2019, obviously, since COVID hit, they've been really strict. And but what it does mean is everywhere you go, usually there's lots of traffic, and it's super busy. So yeah, Rick, you're saying the north. We never got to it. We just got to Ubud, which is in central, and it took us like all day to get there and back. So we did a one-day tour with a driver. He took us from place to place. He took us to a waterfall, a Hindu temple, to the terrace rice fields, which were kind of nice. And then the best part was he took us to the monkey forest, which is in Ubud. But the time it took us to get there with the traffic was several hours between the stops and getting there, and then several hours getting back. So it is suffering from over tourism. But in this monkey forest, we had a blast. We thoroughly enjoyed the monkeys. They kind of interacted with you. They love to steal from you. My wife had warned us about that, so we didn't bring fancy cameras. We didn't lose anything. But we saw other people, they got medication stolen from them. One monkey stole, what did he steal? He stole gum from the person and knew instantly how to open it up and pop the gum in. One actually bit my son, got really close to his back and started to bite him, not hard, but bit him in the back. And another one was kind of above me, and he showed his teeth to me, which is usually a sign of aggression. Anyways, I got my tail out of there. I was not going to take on a monkey at that point. So anyways, the monkey forest was really cool. One thing that we did see, though, that there was going to be a Hindu sacrifice when the time came. And so we saw the animals going into the temple. We didn't actually participate in the ceremony, but lots of animals were being brought in, including a small monkey, not the same variety that was in it. But yeah, there was a lot. There was a monkey being brought into the sacrifice, which I thought there was a bit of irony that you're there to see monkeys, and here they're about to sacrifice another type of monkey, but they were sacrificing monkeys. Anyway, like I said, over tourism. When we got back, we were supposed to get back at like 5 o'clock. I think it was past 7, closer to 8 o'clock, like 2+ hours late because of all the traffic. So that's just something to be mindful of if you don't mind fighting through or getting to maybe to the north where it's quieter. But the island has a lot, I think 4 or 5 million people on a fairly small island. So yeah, lots of traffic, lots of people to fight through. The one day we did spend on the beach, the next day, but in the morning this time, the water was quite deep, so they had lots of water sports. So we didn't want to go in with all the water. Like when I say water sports, I mean like water skiing and parasailing and stuff. So we wanted to go in when it was a bit quieter, not so much motorcraft or watercraft. So in the afternoon, the water receded, but then it was a bit rocky and green and stuff. And literally within 2 minutes, something stung me in the foot, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Not hard, like not really bad, but I did get stung. I'm like, okay, I don't need this. So our whole ocean experience in Bali was like 2 minutes. So that's something to be mindful of as well. All righty, Singapore. That was Bali. Any questions? And then here we go. International disputes. Yeah, a lot of that out for the next one. Maybe not do it when there's a storm. Probably that's one of the main issues. Okay, it's lagging. I'm just going to ask one question here. Then we're going to go Singapore. Then we're going to wrap it up. Okay. We ready? We good? I'm going to go with it. It's international disputes. For decades, Singapore has complained about the price it pays to get fresh water from this country. International disputes. For decades, Singapore has complained about the price it pays to get fresh water from this country. Yes, Rick with another point. Yes, great. It is Malaysia, which is right next door. So, Singapore, this is the country that my son really wanted to see. I was intrigued by it. We had a couple of nights there. The first night we stayed at a smaller hotel. And when I looked at the room, it kind of felt like it was a little weird. And when we got there, it actually was two different rooms that were next to each other, but my son actually had a whole room to himself. So that was kind of unique. I'm sure he enjoyed that. But yeah, it was a little bit different. In Singapore, they have little different sections of communities. So we went to the Arab section the first night and had a nice meal there as well. Portion. We walked down there where Marina Bay Sands Hotel is. But the second night, the picture that you saw on the front, that's where we stayed. And the top of it looks like a kind of like a surfboard. It's actually one big pool. So that's pretty amazing. I think at the time it was built, it was the highest pool in the entire world. So you get to swim there right up to the edge of the pool. You kind of looking out into the city. So we spent a lot of time at the hotel and enjoying the pool. We did walk around the Marina Bay Sands the next day, and there's something called the Mer Lion, which is the lion of Singapore, and it's kind of the official mascot, and kind of spews water into the bay right in front of the hotel. And at night, behind it is called the Gardens by the Bay. Is it kind of these artificial trees that kind of famous for Singapore as well. We went there and we watched the night show. And then before we left in the morning, we went for another swim at like 6 a.m. Actually did a couple of laps because it wasn't so busy. And then Singapore, if you don't know, has one of the most amazing hotels in the world. You can stay there and hang out for hours. Some people do 24 hours right in the hotel. It's got all the amenities there. We didn't. It's got an interesting waterfall, got lots of shopping. We hung out there. And yeah, we enjoyed Singapore immensely. And then we headed back to Hong Kong. We didn't do much. We were kind of tuckered out. We just were there for less than a day. And then we headed home. Had a bit of a disaster in Chicago. Our flight was canceled. And it took us almost 12 hours to get on the next flight. So with other flights going in between, but we weren't on them because we didn't have tickets for them. So anyways, I don't know if anybody's still around. Is anybody still there? Hello? No? Yeah, okay, I see. Yes, the Raffles Hotel, which is in Singapore, invented the Singapore. That, Rick, was actually a question somewhat earlier. All right. Do not answer this question. Do not type in the chat the answer. Do not type in the answer in the chat. What's going to happen is I'm going to end the stream, and then you can comment on this video. In the comment section, not in the chat section, in the comment section, I want you to put the answer. Everybody that puts the right answer, of course. All right, did we get that? No answer in the chat. Wait till the stream is over, and then you can answer as a comment in the comment section. Don't know how I can run live streaming on this internet is just not. Are you still there? Okay. We're back. I lagged again. Yes, Elon. Okay. Don't answer in the chat. Answer is a comment to the video. Once I'm done, I end the stream. You should be able to comment. I think you reload the page, then you can comment. Got it? Not in the stream. Put it as a comment. I want you to name this building and what city it's in. Okay? It's in one of the cities that I mentioned tonight. My son likes to collect buildings. Can we see that? This is the building. So name the building as well as which city is it in the comment section, not in the chat where you are right now, in the comment once we're done. All righty. Okay, do we need any more look at this? It's got kind of a flat top, little flat top. It's got this kind of. All righty. So I'm going to end the chat. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for being my very first. We'll have to figure out this lag issue. Maybe it's the weather. That probably didn't help. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Enjoy your evening. And we'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock, for a regular trivia show tomorrow night. We will see you. Bye now. Oh, where are we? Oh. See you.